Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, YouTube proudly presents to you its number one, I think, gaming collecting show in the world! I am Mad Mikey, and this is the shit I'll probably never play! Mad Mikey Gaming. Alright guys, so you've got to hear me out. It's technically Friday somewhere in the world, so I'm not really late. So it could still be the number one Friday game collecting show on YouTube. But cheers, guys. Another great week. So guys, welcome to the shit I'll probably never play for this week. Again, it was another week where I didn't think I was going to have much, but then I ended up with a lot more than what I'd bargained for. So we will try and be a bit more time efficient over these next ones because we do have a lot to go through today. Now, firstly, shout out to my boy Samuel and his old man. When I went to his place last week, it was his birthday, just to give him some tips on YouTube and how to do a couple of things. His dad said to me, look, I've got this old PSP. It's not doing anything. Do you want to have a look at it? I'm like, I don't have a PSP anymore. So I actually got a couple of games and a PSP this week. I don't know if it works, but knowing his dad, and I know him quite well, this will be working. I just need to now go out and get a charger. I thought that it was like the old docks, like how you charge a lot of them. So I was like, yeah, I've got one of those, but I didn't actually. So you know what? It's going to work. I promise you that. So the games that I got weren't anything to write home about, but free's free, right? A lot of them are sports games, so I might actually play some of them, just for the fun of it. So we've got World Tour Soccer 2, which I know absolutely nothing about. But since since EA sort of got their money-grabbing hands all over the sort of soccer and the football worlds, not many games come out very well licensed or anything like that. So not that I'd know because I'm not much of a soccer fan. We've also got MX versus ATV on the Edge. So that would be a pretty cool game. That's racing and whatnot. Yeah, these are all complete from what I can see. Yeah, even still got all the stickers on. This one I'd actually probably get into, and that's Fight Night Round 3. I've been a fan of the Fight Night for quite a while now. Just a shame that there hasn't been one for quite a while. I don't know what they're actually doing with the license there, but it was a really good series back in the day, to be honest. It was like one in every year. Then they started trying to do stories and whatnot. I actually didn't mind the stories. I just couldn't get past it because you win and then you start losing. It's really weird. Tiger Woods PGA. I don't know what year is this. What year is this one? Tiger Woods golf on a handheld. Yeah, that could be pretty cool. I don't think they've done it for a while, even on the Vita, which you normally just got your sort of kiddie games on the Vita and whatnot in terms of with your soccer, at least. But these are really cool. I don't know if this PSP's got a memory card in it or not. Because that was when the PSP did come out. When it came out, that was the thing that was holding me. Yes, it does. That was the thing that was actually stopping me from buying it. Because, I mean, on top of what you had to pay for the PSP, you then had to buy a memory card. And memory cards weren't that cheap back in that day. Just to round it off with the games, we've got FIFA 06. Soccer games are generally always fun. I know when I go over to cousins and whatnot, because they've got all their PlayStations and I don't know, they're PlayStation guys. And we just end up playing FIFA and end up bashing each other. So it can be some healthy fighting fun. And I just got a couple of the movies there. These are actually two of my favorite movies, to be honest. Underworld and Desperado. So I've never watched a movie on a PSP, so it will be interesting to see how it goes. Now, I've got a new worker for me. It goes by the name of Mum. Now, she's got a couple of sort of your Salvation Army and Brotherhood stores near her house. So I just thought, in retirement, let's keep her busy and, out in the community. So I said to her, look, Mum, can you go and take photos of what they've actually got and send them to me on Wednesdays when you're out? And she's like, yeah, that's fine. So I had to teach her how to text first as well. And then, so I got a text from her on Wednesday. And I'm like, oh, Mum, geez, it did work. And because her camera and her phone is like an old flip phone, I could not see what they were. So I ended up having to call her up and go through what was there and what she was looking at and things like that. So the only thing that she did manage to get me was, and I told her, yeah, just get it so that you're not wasting your time, was Athens 2004. So Olympic Games, like your other sort of sports games where there's generally only going to be once or twice these people are ever going to grace a game. So I'm like, let's see. I have fond memories of the old summer and winter games on the old Commodore 64. Let's see how this holds up. So this was only $5.25. Hopefully it will take up some room in the corner somewhere. And on another time, so I went with her earlier in the week because we had Australia Day and things like that. So I went out with her and I got Playboy the Mansion on the PlayStation 2. Now I've already got this on the Xbox, but it was $3.25. So I thought, why not? It's an interesting game. Like, not got all you want, but hey, I'm a dude. What can I say? Now, huge shout out of the week to my man, Tim. Now, Tim, I'd bought a couple of games off, which we'll get to in a second, and he didn't get around to shipping it off on the day when I paid it. But I was actually, as you guys are aware, I was off yesterday, and he said, look, I'm near where you are. Do you just want me to drop it off and I'll refund you the shipping? I'm like, yeah, that's fine, dude. If you want to come over, come over. So I came over and dropped off the games. We were just chatting. He had his missus in the car, so he couldn't sort of hang around and stay for a while. Then he's like, mate, I found this in the car. Do you have one? And he then shows me this. The Sega Mega Drive. Now, I'm going to plead ignorance on this. I know nothing about the Sega Mega Drive or its heritage or whatnot. I know that it says high definition graphics. He doesn't know if it works because he doesn't have any plugs or anything like that. But I said, keep the shipping. Yeah, $8 for this. Yeah, I'll take that any day. So I did do a bit of research, and it seems that the Sega Mega Drive and the Sega Mega Drive 2, I don't know what they called it in America in terms of with the Genesis. I think it was the actual Genesis. Now, this one they were both 16-bit, but this one, the newer one, the 2 had blast processing or whatever. Now, I actually had a Sega Mega Drive 2, and I missed out on this. But it's actually going to... I thought that they might run the same games and whatnot because they're both 16-bit, but as I sort of investigated a bit more, that is not the case. But this one's... like, if I can see if it's working, like, it costs about $20 to get the cables and everything like that for it. It was basically free. So, Timmy, thank you so much. But, funny story, not 2 days before, I got a message from somebody at work saying, hey, do you want this for $40? Sega Mega Drive 2. So I was like, yes, I will have that, thank you. Now, I couldn't remember back in the day if this had... So it says AV out, but the cable that she gave me was the RF cable, so where you've got a tuner and whatnot. So you can actually get different cables for this. So I used to spend countless days and nights and whatnot playing just NBA Live 95 and 96 and so forth. So that was basically all I used this console for back in the day. I'm now ready to see what else this bad boy is capable of. Speaking of my mum, a while ago, about a year or so ago, I was just going through her shed trying to fix it and whatnot. I actually stumbled across these 2 games. So I was like, Mum, you got to come drop it off. Now, NBA Showdown 94, it's still complete in box, so I've still got the cover and the game. So I wonder if all my old saves are still on there, because these cartridges, this is a battery, and that's what sort of saves the game. So whether the battery's died by now, I have no idea. Something that I'd never noticed before, and makes a lot of sense, is that on the side it says Genesis. So obviously the 2 was the Genesis, I'm pretty sure. But I love this. It says over 20 new features. This is 94. It looks amazing, this game. Weber, Penny, Kukoc, the 93-94 lineups, all the teams and real players from the 93-94 season. So I used to just play these games non-stop. So this is going to be awesome to see, like, all the old players like Sean Kemp and everybody. It's going to be amazing. Now, my disappointment when NBA Live 95 wasn't in here was short-lived, to say, because it was actually NBA Jam in here. So this was a game that I spent a lot of time playing. NBA Jam, a classic game. I'm just going to try and hunt down the actual NBA Live 95. I've seen it online really cheap, so shouldn't be too long, but it'll be in the next cycle of purchasing of games. Now, back to what Tim brought over. Now, he was just emptying out his garage. He showed me some pictures. I'm like, yep. So, it originally came along because I was at a cash converters, and I was like, I saw a couple of PlayStation games, and I was like, I saw 007 Racing, and he was like, I said, I'd never seen that before, so I was a bit interested. He goes, I've got a couple of them, you just have one. And so that's where it started, and then he showed us all the other games. So, exciting missions and beautiful women. I don't know how they mix that in, but hey, I'm game. And it looks like there's shooting and everything like that in there, so that this could be a bit of fun if I ever do get around to playing it. All the games that I bought for Tim, that one was free. The rest were all $10 each, so it was a pretty good bargain from what I got. Also, the first game that I ever raged to, Driver. Now, I know nothing about driving, but I love the driving games. The start of this game, you had like your tutorial mission, and it was telling me to do certain moves, and I just couldn't do it. I didn't know what it was, so I didn't know how to do it. And it was really the first game that I'd ever raged over. I threw the control. The second one was by far a lot better. I mean, and that sort of... They took a bit off of this game, which was GTA 2. So in GTA games, you could obviously get out of the car. It was a top-down one, this one, but Driver was sort of your 3D game. And a lot of people complained in the first one that you could only drive, and then when the second one came out, like, you could get out of the car and walk. Wow, that was amazing. But GTA 2, I don't have many memories of the original GTAs. I did buy them. I know I bought one of them, remembering that, and I don't think I ever really got into them. But it's a good collector's to have. And Tim said, look, it's still got the map and everything, so that's actually pretty cool. The next one I got was The Simpsons Wrestling. Again, back when I was younger and I had a PlayStation, I just used to do them for sports and wrestling. This was not one of the wrestling games that I got. It's actually got the voice actors from the TV show, hidden characters, exclusive character moves, popular Springfield venues, and numerous power-ups. 19 combatants, including Homer, Bart, Krusty, Willie, and other popular characters. And also another 007 game, Tomorrow Never Dies. It's a third-person one, so that's good. I never really got into the first-person Bond games, GoldenEye included. So I've actually got GoldenEye, but that's beyond the point. Now, this was obviously a movie game / tie-in, third person. I do really enjoy the other games that are out there in the series that are all third person. It's a platinum one, but again, for $10, what are you going to do? And another platinum game, The Legacy of Kain, Soul Reaver. Now, this was a game that I have played, and I love this game. Back in the day, I loved vampire movies, Buffy, all that crap. And this was a game about a vampire. So I'm like, let's check it out. And I actually really enjoyed it. It had a story. It had a good story to it. And back in those days, it was very hard outside of sort of your RPG elements and whatnot. So this, and along with Metal Gear Solid, was sort of what introduced me to a lot of storytelling in gaming, which is what I love today. And rounding up on the PlayStation games is Oddworld Abe's Exodus. It's slowly making its way back, the Oddworld series. They've got a really underlying story somewhere in there, and it's really interesting. But this was a sequel, so astonishing graphics and rich gameplay that made Abe's Odyssey absolutely mind-blowing. Yesterday, before I caught up with friends, I got a text message from a source at Cash Converters saying, hey, we got a whole bunch of new games in, come and check it out, sort of thing. Sent photos, and I'm like, oh, should I get this, should I get that? And I sort of sent the pictures to Tim, who came over. I said, are any of these worth getting? And the first one he said, look, probably that game, which is Robotech Battle Cry. And he made a joke, he's like, oh, where is it again? And I was like, he's like joking. This game you don't see out there very often. I do have it on Xbox. but for the GameCube, a bit more rarer. We did play it a bit last night, just to have a look at it, and the cell shading on it actually is really good. The cell shading in general will hold up forever. Just a Tiger Woods game, 2003. I've been after this one actually for a while, so this one was only $5. It's actually got an Australian band, Silverchair. Look them up. The song is actually called The Greatest View, and it's just really relaxing playing around a golf with that song, even though it's a bit of a rock song. And the last game of the week is Need for Speed Underground 2 on the GameCube. I got this one for $15. It normally I've seen it around for sort of your $25, your $30 range. Well, for $15, I'll pick that up. I wanted to get the first one as well because they had all of them there, and I just didn't have the fundage to do so. But guys, again, sorry I'm late in Australia, but nowhere else. I think we're pretty safe in America. I hope you enjoyed today's show. Don't forget, on Monday we'll have Getting to Know Mad Mikeey, and hopefully everything's going to move back into a bit more of a smoother pace. We'll be doing the podcast again next weekend, not this weekend, because we've got other commitments to take care of. But guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great weekend. Bye.